Hello, my name is Jared Brandon, and today's podcast we are going to be talking about Deep Springs College. So, what if I told you that there was an elite college as exclusive as Harvard and as remote as the North Pole? That it consistently tops Harvard's yield rate and evades suspicious of being a cult? That it requires its students to engage in 20 hours of manual labor per week and doesn't let them leave without express permission? This is the true character of Deep Springs College. It was founded in 1917 by L.L. Noon. Deep Springs College is a unique institution of higher learning. The educational program is built upon three pillars: academic, self-government, and manual labor. The school is located in a remote valley in the California desert and is a 2-year institution with an enrollment of only 26 students. Deep Springs College has a history of graduates attending some of the most prestigious schools in the United States. Students transfer to Yale, Brown, Cornell, Columbia, Stanford, the University of Chicago, and other top schools and Ivy League schools. More than two-thirds of the graduates earn graduate degrees and about 50% obtain doctorate degrees. Graduates of Deep Springs Colleges have received very high honors. Some have received Rhodes and Truman scholarships, and 2 graduates have received the MacArthur Genius Grants. So just look at the mission statement really quick. The mission of Deep Springs College is to prepare young people for a life of service to humanity. Leadership and enlightened service are the aims of Deep Spring College, which fulfills its educational mission by bringing students into intense contact with nature, work, and ideas. So we're just going to look at the 3 pillars that the school has built its program on: academics, self-government, and manual labor. So academics and curriculum. Unlike most colleges, students at Deep Springs College design the curriculum and select the professors. There are no majors or concentrations, and students are encouraged to explore a variety of topics in the humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences. Public speaking, summer seminar, and writing are the only 3 required courses at Deep Springs College. The intellectual flavor at the college is governed by an attraction to foundational books, as well as an admiration for the obscure. The central subjects typically that the students study include your classic text, Greek, genetics, biology, music, mathematics, American and British literature, and German philosophy. The curriculum includes introductory courses and specialized courses rarely provided at the freshman and sophomore level at any other institution in the United States. Students typically develop their academic interest during one-on-one conversations with their instructors and peers. Students only take 2 or 3 courses per term, allowing for rigor and in-depth conversations in their education. Discussions often attain a depth uncommon to most undergraduate levels. Students devote for a substantial amount of time and energy to their assignments. Classes typically have around 8 students. All students are expected to come to class prepared to contribute to the discussion. So the next part of the pillar that the school is built on is self-government. When the founder was building his successful hydraulic enterprise in the late 19th century, he frequently established remote outposts in the West for his workers to maintain all the facilities. Somewhat because of a necessity, these groups were given a great deal of autonomy in managing their communities. As L.L. Noon shifted his emphasis to the educational endeavors, he applied the same principles for his students. After founding Deep Springs, Nunn turned over the estate to the college, and as a key clause of the trust that he gave over to the college reads, "It shall be the duty of said trustees to accord the student body the full right, power, and authority of democratic self-governance in accordance with the traditions and ideals and policies of Deep Springs set forth in the correspondence and documents of the grantor." So they have what you call student standing committees made up by their students. The students review all student applications for admission and select each year's new incoming freshman class. They review all applications for prospective professors. They set academic policy. They review cases of academic misconduct, and they guide course selection. They also review individual student progress throughout the year to see if they will be re-invited back for the next year, because it's not a definite yes that you will be invited back. Since this is a 2-year institution, most of the students will not be able to experience the decisions firsthand that they have made, but just as they are recipients of decisions made by students before them, so they are obligated and are willing to make the best choices for students to follow. So the last pillar is labor. This is a pillar that most universities do not have in the United States. So the school is year-round free, and it costs $50,000. So in exchange for the room and board and the tuition, it requires for its students to do several hours of manual labor a day. So students are typically up before the sun, and their usual class time is during the weekday morning between breakfast and lunch. Students play a great role in operating and maintaining the ranch. They work at least 20 hours per week. Students work as cooks, as butchers, as cowboys. They milk the cows at dawn and dusk. They pitch hay. They collect eggs from the hen house. They irrigate the alfalfa fields. They tend to the garden. They cook. They clean. Take care of office tasks, and serve as handyman around the 2,500 acres that the Deep Springs College sits on. They may have to take and move an irrigation line before dinner or before school. The labor serves as a source of legitimacy. There's always something to do around the ranch. The students see the labor as a positive experience and makes them feel their labor is meaningful to the community. So how can we apply this to higher education today, and what can we do? So the legacy of L.L. Noon is more than the physical existence of Deep Springs College, but rather the ideas they represent. Nunn was an engineer and a lawyer who felt that professionals should not narrowly be trained in a specific field, but should be educated broadly in the liberal arts and prepared to face a multifaceted world which we live in with an ever-changing challenges. He felt that colleges and universities should prepare leaders of integrity and moral courage, and that this was the best accomplished when students are given real responsibilities and power. So the Deep Springs model is not easily replicated for obvious reasons, as you can tell, but aspects of its experience should be evaluated and maybe adopted by other institutions in higher education. So a question would be, so should students be given a voice when it comes to curricular matters, to student governance, and choosing faculty? Ultimately, these things ultimately their college experience depends on the curriculum of the institution, how the institution is governed, and the interaction they have with the faculty members. So although the living and learning community at Deep Springs is more intense than it could be at most institutions, it is clear that this type of environment has profound effects on the learner. Academic leaders should examine these lessons from Deep Springs and find ways to meaningfully adapt them at their institution. So through this podcast, I hope I've enlightened you just on what Deep Springs College is and what Deep Springs College is about, and hopefully open up the conversation of maybe getting some of what they do actually applied into higher education today in our colleges and universities. Thank you for the time, and have a great day.